Hi folks, welcome to the Prepared Homestead. This is Travis. Thank you all for stopping by to watch. As you can see, we have a burned field behind us. Decided we do a little control burning today. Turned out to be just about a perfect day to do it. It's been a while since we've had any kind of rain, but the ground is still kind of moist from the last time we had some snow, and it's windy. But the big thing is it's going to start raining here soon. So we lit this one up and burned it off because this is one of the places on the property that we haven't really developed yet at all. As you can see by looking through here, there's a lot of blackberry vines and other thorny weeds and stuff like that. And we want to eventually get this, because it's in a good spot. We want to eventually get this cleared out and open it up for another field. And it worked out great. This is something that you can do on your own property. Definitely check with your local regulations because it's different everywhere. I know some of you folks that are further out west deal with a lot of burn restrictions because of your weather is different than us. But here in the Ozarks, the end of January and through February is usually the best months to do this. And you just kind of have to, you have to watch what you're doing because you don't want it to get out of control. This situation works great for us because where this field is located, it's kind of nestled in between two creeks. We got a creek behind us, we got a creek on this side, and this creek behind us, it swings around. And so it's almost like a little peninsula of a field. And so it worked out great. And I had planned ahead to do this. And so around the back edge, I had mowed a good wide strip so it was down and enough that it didn't jump over in. And if it did jump over into that tree line, the worst it would have done is maybe taken out a few cedar trees, and then it would have stopped because that's where one of the creeks is at. So it was a good spot for that. But it's good for your soil to do this every 3 or 4 years if you're able to. You can do it in your woods. Again, you need to do a little research. Don't just take my word for it because every place is different. You need to kind of have an idea of what you're doing. Around here in the Ozarks, if you contact the conservation department, the state conservation department, they can help you a lot with that. In fact, they even have like leaf blowers and equipment like that they will loan to you if they're available. So it's something to certainly think about. And myself and the kids were out here. We did it just me and the kids because my wife and my mother is doing something, and it worked out great. So that's something that you can do to help your property. And I'll be excited this year to kind of develop this part of the property since it's just been left untouched for such a long time. We've got the weather coming in, so folks, seriously, here in the Ozarks, it's changed every day, but it still looks like that large parts of the Ozarks could very well get, 10, 12, 15 inches of snow, and possibly ice ahead of that snow. It's supposed to actually start here soon. So get ready. And it's weird because it's kind of nice out. I'm out here in short sleeves. It's probably close to 60 or so, but it'll change rapidly. Another thing before I get started, I know I just keep keeping from getting into the video. A lot of people ask if I video or would I video and record the meeting that we had this weekend. And I've always had technical difficulties doing that. And guess what? Once again, had technical difficulties. Had a new camera that I was trying out, well, new to me camera, and had it all set up to record, and it recorded about 10 minutes, and for some reason it shut off and didn't record. I mean, the camera was on, but it stopped recording. I don't know why. So what I'm going to do, I have all my notes from the class that I gave and the slides or the PowerPoint, and I'm going to work on a video here in the next few days of that class that I gave. I won't be uploading it here on YouTube because the things that I have to say will be censored. So it'll probably be uploaded on Rumble and Odyssey, and I'll let you know when I do that. I'm going to guess it's going to be like a longer video, 45-minute or so video. So just to let you know. Now, what I wanted to get to is a subject that I don't want to step on anyone's toes. I really don't. I don't want to offend people. uh, at least most of the time. There are some times that I just don't care, and if that's what happens, that's what happens. But I understand that there are some people that are sincerely out there trying to prep up, and what I want to say is to hopefully kind of wake you up a little bit, because what I have found in doing these videos and doing the meetings, and actually meeting more and more people that are either new to prepping or have been doing it for a while, and mostly it's the new to prepping crowd, but there are certainly some that I've met that's been doing this for a few years now, and that fall into this category of, I don't know that they're really serious enough, that they're really in their mind, that they've really grasped the concept of what they're really preparing for and how bad it could be, like how severe things could get. And I'm not on here, I don't want to be like a shock jock, and I don't want to scare a bunch of people. That's certainly not what I want to do, but I want to help people come to the reality that the possibility of, in your lifetime, of experiencing really serious, like, into the world, bad things happening, and could last for a very long time, the odds of that happening is pretty doggone good, the way things are going. And that's not even getting into what a lot of you share the same belief as I do, is what's in the Bible, is how the Bible tells us that it's not really going to get any better, folks. So I just, somehow, hopefully, I can convey the message to you that it's not a hobby. I mean, a lot of people do it, and if that's how you start off, and a lot of people, maybe that's how you can get your spouse involved, is that it's a hobby and it's fun and it's cool. And I'm not saying that everyone has to take it to heart and be extremely serious and be so hyper focused that that's the only thing that they care about in their life, but there's also the other kind of in between, that you realize the severity of the things that are going on in our world, and that we are looking at a societal collapse. And I really believe that in my heart. And I believe that's why that the globalists have pushing the Agenda 2030 and the Great Reset and everything, is because they know it too. And this isn't like some kind of weird new phenomenon that could happen. This is something, it's a cycle. It's totally cyclical in human society. Go back and do your history. It's almost like humanity is only capable of advancing to a certain point, and then they can't go any further. And I don't know if that's part of the curse that was put upon mankind because of their sin or not. And I don't want to even get into that necessarily. But the point is it's like humans can only get to a certain point of advancement, and then they just lose it, and they regress back. And we've watched this happen. We've watched, every great empire collapses usually at around the 250-year mark. And that's, well, pretty much where we're at here today in the United States. And the possibility of experiencing some level of societal collapse over the next few years is, I think, a really good chance, especially when you look around and you see the complete loss of morality and the family values and traditional values, things that not just that are American, but they're just human, that's been around for hundreds of years, and we're completely overnight throwing it out the window and trying something brand new that's never been tried before. It's not tried and true and tested or nothing. And that's not even talking about all the stuff that the government is doing. I mean, they're always trying to trample on people's rights. That's just what government does. But society as a whole is completely lost touch. There's no compass whatsoever. And we're just going in every possible direction. And when that happens, it just always leads to collapse. It just does. And so it's very possible, and it's my belief, that the globalist plan that we talk about all the time has been done because they know that that's going to happen. They see it. They have all these experts. They're privy to things that you and I can't imagine, and they know that that's where we're heading. And so they've created this plan to try to, instead of watch society collapse, as society starts to collapse, they can catch it and catapult it into this new, fourth industrial revolution, this new evolution of mankind where it's hyper technology. And I think that's probably their plan. You and I, we need to be at a place that we can survive through that, and that we can thrive and understand that we are now, and we will be going through over the coming months and years some radical changes to what you and I thought was normal, thought was just how things were supposed to be. They're going to change, and the odds are they're never going to come back, at least not in your lifetime or mine. And so we have to be ready for that. So it's not just a physical preparedness and buying the stuff and the gear and getting all the cool little gadgets and stuff. Way more than that. It's that mental, psychological preparedness, that you understand that we're living in this world necessarily, but we're not. I mean, we're not of it. I mean, we're here, but we're not really partaking of the world, and we need to have this mindset that we are kind of separate and set apart from the world. And because if we can do that, and we can build connections and communities around us and learn skills, lost skills that's been gone for decades, it increases our chance. It gets our dependency away from a system and an infrastructure that's fragile, and it puts it back into our hands and into the Creator Father's hands. And then it gives us a better chance to actually survive and to do well. And we don't know how much longer we have on this planet. It could be a long time. It may not be very much longer either. But whatever it is, between now and that time, we need to be prepared and understand that this isn't just a little storm that we're trying to weather through, and then in a few weeks it'll be okay. It's not just going to last until the next election and we finally get a good president into office that's just going to turn it around. Because people have been saying that for decades and it's not happened yet. Just wait until we get a new Congress elected. That's going to fix it. When has that ever happened? It's not. We have to take the responsibility for our success and our survival into our own hands and realize that what is happening around us is really a cataclysmic change. Maybe not something that Hollywood puts out to where, it's like we're living in caves again. But in much the same way, it is a radical change that we're going through as a society. And we have to be ready for that and understand that what we always thought were norms and the things that we become accustomed to are not going to be there anymore. And we have to be ready for that psychologically. There's going to be an emotional toll taken on people, which is something that I plan on talking about in future videos. Just the emotional toll. No matter how prepared you are, it's going to wear on you, because it's already wearing on people. And we have to prepare for that, and we have to get our minds right. We have to get our souls, our spirit in line, because we're going to be put through some tests, and we're going to see some trials, and we're going to be tempted. But if we stick the course, if we buckle down and are ready for it, and we have the connections with other like-minded people and the right connection with the Father, we can make it. This is a survivable thing, and in the end, we should know where we're headed. So don't look at it as just a game alone. I mean, if you want to make it fun, that's fine. But folks, this is serious, and there's a lot of things that are going on that are serious, and there's a lot of people already that's been hurt, and their lives have been changed drastically because of everything that's happened in the last 2 years. And it's going to continue to be that way, and it's going to spread to where more and more people are very directly affected by what's happening, and we have to be ready for that. And that's what we do. That's why we live how we do. That's why we have the meetings and we make the connections that we do. That's why we give up and we sacrifice certain things that the modern world, partakes in, and we give those up so that we can put our money and our time and our focus on things that we know that will last and that will sustain us. All right, folks, thank you all for watching, and I'll catch you in the next video.